Hi, everybody. How you doing? This is Rob Stolker with Steven Schneider, Todd Leonardis, the Partnership Guys podcast. Thanks, everybody, so much for listening in. We are so proud that we got through season one, 10 episodes. Now we're moving on to season two. Season two, these episodes really focus on the why of partnerships matter, why they fail. I know we've been talking about it, but we're really going to focus on that, why they really are the most overlooked driver of entrepreneurial success is having a partnership, having somebody that you can that shares in the responsibilities, shares in the stress of it all, doing everything and getting all the things done that have to be done in the business while growing it, supporting each other, supporting each other's personal lives, things like that. Episode one, we're going to start by talking about why partnerships matter more than entrepreneurs realize. We kind of all have gotten a sense that when we say the word business partnerships, say the two words business partnerships to entrepreneurs and people, the reaction is almost always negative to that. We want to do a lot of talking about all the great things that can be accomplished with a great partnership. So welcome, Todd and Stephen. Love to hear your thoughts on this.
I think the first thing we need to talk about is this big entrepreneurial myth. And that myth is that if you want it done right, do it yourself. It feels right. It feels like that's the way to do things. But, this lone wolf mentality that, I'm going to change the world and I'm going to grow my business. And it's really a myth. It's a way to kind of feel safe rather than putting yourself in a position to be the most successful that you can be. One of the things that can happen when you're alone and independent and doing your own thing, it can feel like you're really in control and you're really doing well, but it can very quickly, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs feel this way, very isolating, right? Like you don't have that sounding board. You don't have that support that will really help you accelerate the business and accelerate you towards achieving your personal goals as well. Autonomy feels great, but there's a cost to that. And that cost is that isolation. That cost is that support system. That cost is sitting at your desk at 8 o'clock at night when everybody's gone home and you're by yourself and exhausted, right? And you don't know what you're supposed to do because you don't have anybody to talk to. And it just is a huge emotional and intellectual load on your brain, and on your person that really kind of will start to grind you down over time. And the idea is that it feels like you're in a position of strength, but really it's limiting your ability to be able to succeed. Where a good partnership can really help you kind of achieve all of your goals, not just create a business that's making money.
That point, Stephen, when you talk about staying up late, being up late, I'm very blessed. We're all very blessed with great family, and there is support in that way. And I'm always very careful with using that support for two reasons. One is I don't, in a lot of ways, I feel like that's just creating stress for somebody else, and whether it's my wife or kids, that's just creating stress for somebody in my house that isn't going to do anything for what the issue is. So I don't even want to bring that. And the second thing is it's really not going to solve any of the, I need a business partner who understands the challenges, what's going through. And that's, just one of the great things about a partnership. So sorry, Todd, I know you have a lot to say about this.
No, of course, I agree. It is very isolating when you don't have somebody to bounce stuff off of. And I've definitely been guilty of it where I don't share everything with the people in my personal circle for several reasons. Because to your point, they don't have the full context. They might not have the full risk tolerance. They are personalizing it because that's all they could do, that because they don't have all of the history, and they start going sliding down a path of how's this going to affect me type of stuff, and it doesn't add value. I mean, that I'm not never say don't share. Of course, share, especially share how emotionally how you're feeling. But we have a responsibility that goes above and beyond a lot of people, which is to people look at us to keep things moving, keep things calm. And because of that, we shoulder all this stress on by ourselves. And if you don't have a partner, that could be very, very difficult. because really in a real partnership, 1+1 does not equal 2. 1+1 equals 5. It's absolutely exponential. It allows you to, really share risks, reduce fear, and increase the ability to make some bigger decisions, which is, I think, a huge benefit of being in a partner. I mean, you can make faster decisions. Absolutely. If you guys did the work to build trust and respect, you could really move at a much, much quicker speed. And, being with a partner really helps eliminate blind spots. If you have a good way of communicating, you can really let your partner know, like, you're not seeing this again. You might not be seeing this again, or I got this part of it, because, if you're alone, you don't know your blind spots necessarily. You probably know one or two. There's some stuff I've done before, but you don't know them all. And to have somebody that could be your spotter to a certain extent, like when you're driving in the car and you can't see, be like, can I go now? It's like one of those. That's what I look at a partnership, as, somebody that can see stuff that I can't see. And, it just keeps you more emotionally stable, keeps your house and your family emotionally stable when you have a partner that you can share this stuff with, and which allows you to think more strategic.
Yeah, I'll give you one more that for owning a business and running a business there, it's ups and downs. And how many times, if you're working by yourself in those downs, the easy answer is to not do anything, is to say, I don't even want to deal with that right now. I'm not going to deal with it. And how do you get things done? I understand saying that. I've said it a million times myself. But when you're in a strong partnership, the answer is the opposite, is I have somebody and we're going to get this done because I have somebody that understands, that supports me, that is going to help me get through this. If not, really things might not get done and won't get done if you're picking in your own head what you're doing, what you want to do, what you like doing, what you don't like doing, and that can be really dangerous.
I think, Todd, your point about speed is really good, is that having a partner that you can trust and having a partner that you respect allows you would think intuitively it would slow things down, right? Because everybody's got to make every decision type of a thing. But in fact, it actually speeds things up, right? Because if you set up the partnership correctly, you've each got responsibility in certain areas. We've called these decision domains. We've talked about this before. And what that does is increase efficiency. Like, so Rob, to your point, being able to pick up pieces that your partner dropped, or being able to make decisions when you're kind of like frozen in place because you don't know what to do, gives you an opportunity to actually keep moving that business forward even more quickly and more efficiently and more profitably, ultimately, because you've got a partner that you trust. Now, flip side is that if you are not in a good partnership, and just as a side note, we can help you with that, and you're not aligned, that creates friction. So imagine if you're not in a good partnership, all the time that you spend either arguing with your partner or thinking about arguing with your partner or just shaking your head like, I can't believe they did that, kind of a thing. Instead of having these conversations, that creates friction. When you're aligned with a partner, that reduces friction, it eliminates friction. So you are just kind of like running on all cylinders as you grow this business. And when you find that you are aligned and there is a conflict or there is a challenge, what that actually does is it accelerates the business. It accelerates the partnership instead of slowing it down. So you don't want to avoid conflict. You actually want to lean into it sometimes because it gives you an opportunity to really take the partnership and ultimately the business to the next level, right? By holding each other accountable, you actually create a better partnership, not a more difficult or challenging partnership. Most people will find they think that, most business problems are external. The market's not behaving the way I want it to. My sales guy's not doing what I need, et cetera, et cetera. What most business problems are, if you're in a partnership, are partnership problems, not business problems. And if you can get aligned, if you can build that trust and respect in the times when things are not difficult, you will find, and it's been our experience and experience of many people that we've talked to, that actually helps to build a stronger business and a stronger.
If going fast is all that you care about, then yeah, you can go alone. If you want to go fast, you can go alone. But if you want to survive, grow, and actually enjoy it, put some time into working and building your partnership.
It's that life work alignment you always talk about, not balance, alignment.
Yeah, and
I think
integration for
it's
sure.
I'm
there's a
sorry,
big
integration.
difference between disagreements and arguments. The disagreements are healthy. They're wonderful. They're even with the three of us and the people that we're helping. How many times have one of us said to the other one, "We're not doing that," and we don't literally mean we're not doing that. We're just saying, "I don't agree with that of the course," and then let's talk about it and let's talk about it openly. And I feel like we come to a place where we collectively make the best decision possible when that happens. And it's with just having the utmost of respect and trust in each other that we all have the same good intentions and we have the same good intentions for the people that we're talking to and understanding that they're struggling. And this stuff is not easy. There is no, until now, until you guys created what you created and I'm latched onto, there's no blueprint for some of this stuff. And it's really hard and it gets emotional and there is no right. We hear so many people who are quote unquote arguing with each other, but a lot of what they're arguing about, they're saying the same thing. They just don't even realize it because they're so knee deep in an argument about it. And so, to be able to come in and figure out how we're going to make an impact on their businesses, their lives, and get them moving forward. It's, we have different opinions and we discuss those and say, how are we going to support this person the best way we can? And that's what we come to.
It's a great point. Like a lot of times we walk into scenarios and there is a lot of tension or friction or yelling or fighting. And when you step back and look at it with different eyes, you'll see that they're yelling the same thing. It's not about the idea, it's about the communication. And that's just a sign that communication is broken down and you just got to focus and work on that. But it's a lot of times people are yelling, they're fighting over the same and on the side of the same thing. It's
Right. I
great.
mean, going back talking about the isolation, like as a solo entrepreneur, you can build a business. I mean, we've done it. We know many people that have done it. It's hard to do, but it's not impossible by any means. But as soon as you achieve those goals, you kind of turn around and you're like, who can I share this with? Right. That's the real benefit of a partnership is you've got this person that you can share these wins with, and you've got somebody that can really help you get more integration of that work life, integration and be able to help you achieve not just your business goals, but your personal goals. It's really hard as a solo entrepreneur to get out of the business and be able to enjoy the benefits of having that success. Right? That's a rarity. And so by having this partnership, you put yourself in a situation where you can really start to enjoy both work and person.
Independence makes you feel very powerful. Like I can do it, until it becomes isolating. And that happens.
Eventually a liability.
This feels good because everything that's being done is being done your way. It's everything is my way. It's my decision. It's my way. It feels good. Everything that's being done is my way. And it's not till something goes wrong that you start to question your way. And that's very normal. If you're not questioning your way, then I would say you probably should question your way. It's just period. If you're not talking to somebody, and I'm not talking about a friend, spouse. I'm talking about somebody in business who knows what you're trying to do and who you trust and share things with. And that's what a business partnership does. It's somebody else to both enjoy the success with and to get through the failures with, to get through those downs and lift each other back up. And that's what to me always feels great.
And to your point earlier, Steve and I have been doing this now for 25 plus years, and we obviously have different opinions about things. But when we find ourselves in a stretch where we're not questioning or we're constantly just agreeing, we will take a step back. Be like, are we really, really in agreement here? Or is this something that we're just placating to a certain extent? Conflict can be very productive when you're getting just different viewpoints and opinions. So it's important. Listen, obviously you want alignment, right? So you're going to be looking for the constant alignment. That doesn't mean capitulation for everything. You know, it means we have the same goal. We might have two different, ways we want to solve this or solve that, but it's so healthy to have those debates. And they don't need to be protracted. They could be pretty quick. Like, this is what I say. What do you think? Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. Let's go your way. It could be as mundane as that. But when it's just like, I'm going to do this. Okay, good idea. Okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, it's a good idea. You're kind of on your own at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of this comes down to ego, right? People start businesses and build businesses on their own because they want to, among other things, they want to kind of feed their ego, right? And that's fine. You can do that. It can be successful there. But when you kind of get your ego out of the equation and start working with somebody that can help you achieve all of your goals, not just your business goals, all of your goals, boy, the reward is incredible. It's so much bigger than just being able to hit $1 million or $10 million or whatever your number is. It's really about just kind of being able to share those successes. And I found certainly with Todd and me over the years that being able to walk into Todd's office and like, man, just got that big order, or, we hit the number this month or whatever it is. I can't do that with my employees. I can't do that with my family. I mean, yeah, they'll be happy for me, but they don't really get it, right? And just having somebody that gets it is a huge, huge emotional bounce.
To the same level, things that go wrong, to be able to walk into his office, I'm sure, and say, hey, this, we got to deal with this right now. And whereas if you were working by yourself, something that you should deal with right now, we're all human. You might say, I'm not going to deal with that right now. I don't want to deal with it right now. I'm going to focus on something else. And instead, you probably get up and say, we got to deal with something right now, because you have Todd in the office next door to be able to do that with. So
That's
that's
where the
where the one plus
accountability.
one.
Yeah, the accountability is key in partnerships. It really helps. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it really does keep us focused on solutions and not sweeping things under the rug. Not saying it's never happened, but it really is a rarity where we find that the other person isn't helping, their partner stay accountable to themselves and the partnership, but mostly to themselves.
And every business has had this, but we've had cash flow challenges over the years, for example. And you can't go to your employees and say, I'm not sure if we're going to meet payroll this week. What are we going to do? Right? You just can't have that conversation with them. But as a solo entrepreneur, it's really hard to kind of get that out of your head and try to figure out how to strategically fix that problem. But if you've got a partner that you can go into and say, man, we got a problem this week. I don't know what I'm going to do. Even if I don't help solve that problem, just being a sounding board for that problem to be able to get out into the air presents solutions to the problem. And we've seen it time and time again. Holding stuff in and, just doesn't allow you to have the mindset to be able to fix a problem. But getting it out there into the world, even if I can't help you fix it or don't know what to do, just puts you in a new mindset where, okay, now it's out there. I can see it. Let me fix it.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is dealing with your emotion. It's when you're by yourself and these emotional things happen, it's hard to deal with. And when you have a partner, you can remove that emotion. And to me, especially in business and running a business, the more you can remove the emotional element, the more you can make good decisions and fix problems and get through all the things. And that's where, when you walk into Todd's office, I'm sure sometimes, and I've seen it too, where there's some emotion behind it, but he understands it, and he's saying, we're going to figure this out, we're going to get there, and that calms you down. And that's the beauty of a partnership, is I can rant and rave to somebody else, get it out of me, there it is, and that person understands where I'm coming from in that rant and rave. That they're not nitpicking words. It's not to create an argument. It's not to anything. It's just a way of venting some frustration for something that happened, that only that your business partner understands. You can get support in other ways. You can call a friend, you can call spouse, family, and they will support you. I'm with you. I'm with you. But it's not the support in a business that you need in those ways. So I appreciate it. This is a great discussion. Thank you, guys. And thank you, guys. It was great talking. Really, really good. I look
Always.
forward to the rest of season 2, all the seasons behind. Please watch us all. If you haven't seen the first season, click on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. We're on all of them. Give us a shout out. Let us know what you think. And, we're just really happy with the feedback we've gotten so far. And we love having the conversations and love what we're doing, which is really helping business partnerships to survive in some cases, to thrive in other cases, to build in some cases, and whatever stage of partnerships you're in, we're confident we can help, and it's been great to be able to do that with you two, Todd and Steven. So thanks again to you two and to everybody for bringing me along the journey.
And everybody, just remember, most business failures aren't market failures; they're relationship failures. So work on those relationships.
Thank you, Todd. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
everybody.
Yeah, you got that. Thanks, Steven. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.